welcome back to Nature Venture. I'm your host, Amalia Alduenda, and it is an absolute honor to welcome you back here today. Today, I want to catch you up about what's been going on in my life because I know on the last episode, I was inviting you to attend Danza la Madre Tierra, and at this point now in time, it has already passed and so many more eventful things have happened. And I want to share with you about them. So sit back, relax, get your snacks, and let's get into it. Okay, so starting with the dance, Danza la Madre Tierra. There were so many lessons learned, but the first lesson that I want to get into is to share the story about building the Temazcal de Inipi. So I already had the structure made from prior 3 years. And the structure can last up to 4 years, which is a full 4 direction cycle. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about a Temazcal, which is a sacred sweat lodge. So it's a hut built out of willow, not willow bark, willow trunks, branches, long branches, and they're placed in sacred geometry in according with the 4 directions, north, south, east, west, and it has a lot of beautiful medicine in there that connects to the elementals, a bunch of different animal guardians, and many, all the guardians. But the main point of it is considered the womb of Mother Nature. So it is a ceremony that is ancestral, really goes back so many thousands of years. I would say structures have been found around the world of this thing, and they would do similar things there. So I was rebuilding. My mission was it had kind of, started to fall apart because unfortunately I didn't hold ceremonies for a while. But now that it was time, so we had to reconstruct it, and not fully. So we went over to my neighbors and they have willows there. So we asked for permission from the guardians. We left them tobacco, just like how I was shown the first time we did this. And we only took what we needed, and it was the perfect amount. We brought it back. We replaced some of the pieces that were falling down. We tied them all up, and it was left perfect. And now the only thing left to do was to finish clearing out the actual leaves and dry grass that was in and all around this space. And this was a task because while it was easy to remove and make it look like it's just all dirt, there's these roots that were really deep in there. And so when you go in crawling, and you're sitting on this, right? So it's meant to be the smoothest area with nothing, no little rock or nothing, because it can, if you roll on it and you're sensitive, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna poke you. And so if you can imagine me, there's the Temazcal hut, and I'm here in the middle, and with a shovel and my hands, trying to pick out these small little roots that are all over the Temazcal, not horribly too many, but they were there. And I had a friend with me who was helping, Grace, and she was actually, I should invite her. I have invited her, but sorry, just a reminder for myself. But she flew in from Sedona, and this was her first experience with any of the things that we did in Mother Earth Dance. Well, actually, she had tried one Temazcal before, but it was a different style than this one. And she really, really enjoyed it. But so imagine she's standing outside, and she's been helping me continue to clear out this area. And I'm inside, and I am starting to really stress because it's not perfect because of the little roots, and I can't seem to get all the little roots, and they're really quite difficult to pick out honestly. And so Grace tells me, honestly, it's fine. Like, if someone touches it, so what? It's really doesn't bother like that much, you know? And I had to really like take a deep breath and be like, it's true. And my mom also came over to check on us in the area, and she told me the same thing. Like, hey, you're going to basically, it's like you're hyper focused on these little roots instead of like eagle's eye vision and seeing that it's done and it's perfect as it is, you know? So even after my mom told me, I continued to pull some more roots for a few moments. And then I realized, you know what? Yeah, it's enough like this. So I crawled out and I looked at it from afar and I saw what they were saying, that it was indeed perfect as it was, you know? And the next day, when my partners from the leaders of the Temascal showed up and we were like analyzing, I was telling them what I had done and some other things that we needed to do. They jokingly said the same thing and they were like, it's okay, it's perfect. And but here's the actual lesson to it, right? So the Temascal has a lesson of discomfort. It has a lesson just like ancestral medicines, if you're going in there to die, but to be reborn. And it's even more metaphorically because you go in crawling and you come out crawling. And so it's literally reborn. And they told me that same lesson as well. They said, you know, if someone is to put their hand over this root, or, you know, they sit on this root, well, that's the medicine that that person needed to receive, you know. Um, that root is going to touch a certain point on their body that needed help to have that release, to feel that emotion, to feel that discomfort, and to help them overcome that. And that is a really big lesson, because how many times in our life are we going through something where there is a discomfort and we avoid it, or we don't go through with things because it feels uncomfortable? But the big lesson there is to sit with what makes you uncomfortable in order to kind of overpass it. Um, and also the other one of the don't be so hyper focused into one little thing of the major big picture, when the eagle's eye point of view is like perfect and it's all like already done. Another lesson from the danza that connects to this is that the grass is very tall grass and it's all dried up now. We had a very beautiful, very abundant spring. It was so green, it was so full of flowers, but then it dried up. And so the actual sacred circle, which if you don't know, is a giant circle. I'm talking about like, I don't even know actually how to mention it in feet, but it's quite large. 100 people fit in that circle, even more. And it's made out of quartz, giant quartz. Like I'm talking like bigger than my shoulders, like giant quartz crystals. And they're laid out in the circle. And so at every point of the directions, you do a spin and you salute the guardians inside the circle. We hold the earth dance, right? And the sacred circle was again overflowing with this dry grass. And prior to the dance, we had started to clean it up, and because normally it's supposed to be all dirt and you're dancing barefoot on like dirt. But another part of the organizing team said to just leave it as the grass because it makes it more naturey. And so we had to abide by that. But then when my grandma came back and looked at it, she said, no, no. And so we got to work. And literally the morning of the dance, imagine the dance starts at 9 a.m. So we were out there, like 5 of us, at 7 a.m., picking at it, going at it, and it got done. It wasn't the dirt, but we reduced down the grass like all the way down to the ground, and it you could notice that it was there because it was hidden. It was hidden behind the tall grass. And so the trail was able to get done and the circle was able to clear it out in time. And that's that lesson again of like, it is going to be what it's going to be. Another couple lessons I took from the dance. Well, actually, I'll save this one for after the commercial break. Give you guys a little bit of suspense there. But I want to go back to the Temazcal because it really, if you have not ever sat in one yourself, please do. It's the most beautiful, healing, quantum, ancestral, unexplainable thing that can happen. There was a moment in there where I had a breaking point like I've never had with a heat. So, quick backstory again. We bring in these abuelitas, and abuelitas are volcanic rocks. They're called grandmothers because they are from the first elementals. They have so much wisdom. They're so ancient, right? If you're talking about when was the last time that a volcano erupted where I am, thousands of years ago. So these volcanic rocks get dug up from these sites, brought over to where we do ceremonies, and we call them grandmothers, right? So on the last day, so there was it was a 3-day event, right? Each day we were meant to do 2 temazcals, but somehow the people did not come. There was beautiful people, but next year I expect you all to be here so we can make it a bigger party. So because there was not enough people to do 2 sessions, we only did 1 temazcal a day. And I got to participate in each one every day. And it was like, I am speechless still of living through those experiences. And because it had been a while for me, when honestly it was a medicine that I told myself that I was going to be very devoted to, and I somehow allowed myself to get distracted from really showing up consistently to that. So when I was in there and we were singing songs and I somehow still remembered all the songs, and I was able to do everything so naturally, I was very impressed by myself because I still, sometimes I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but I obviously do. Sometimes. And yeah, that was fun. So we sang beautiful songs. One of my favorite songs to sing is Amor, 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 amor. El mensaje es el amor. And I had oh, this is another lesson. I forgot what happened, but you reminded me. Okay, so I would have been inside with my rattles, but um a few days before the dance, my family and I, we took a trip down to Bahia de Los Angeles, which is like a couple hours down here from Baja, and it's like a beach place. And we were gonna sit with medicine. We were gonna sit with Bufo. So I had packed my medicine bag with all my ceremonial things. I'm talking drum, rattles, my copalera, the thing that burns, my tarot oracle cards, um, everything. And this is the weird thing. I still stand by this, but maybe I accept that I could be wrong. Lulu even. But so we packed that bag and it was in one car. But then we went in another car and I never transferred the bag to the new car. I never once saw that bag that I packed in the car we actually left in, which I was okay with because I had a feeling we weren't even gonna actually do medicine, So anyway, long story short, we did not do medicine. We just hung out. But coming back to the danza, right? It's now time for me to look for this bag. So I go to the car that I thought it was in. It's not there. It's not in the house. It's not in the other car. It's not anywhere to be found. I'm freaking out. I'm panicking. I'm like, where is this bag? I'm talking to the gnomes like, you guys are so mischievous. You better give it back. And it's not showing up. And so finally, my dad decides to call the hotel we were at. And lo and behold, my medicine bag was there. So my dad says that I'm in denial that I actually took the bag and would leave it in my hotel room when it is so clear in my memories. You do a room sweep. I went through the room and it was not there in my memories. But anyway, so that was kind of like a parallel timeline. I don't know, something happened, but there was a major lesson in it because the whole earth dance, I did not have not one of my rattles, not my drum, not my, you know, well, I had some of like my jewelry, but I didn't have things that made me feel prepared to one gift, like the tree meditation. I used different sounds, different stuff, and I didn't have it. I didn't have all my tools that made me feel like a professional, that made me feel like I know what I'm doing because I got this rattle, that makes this sound when I go into this specific part of the meditation that does this and this. But so I even contemplated, sorry, I think I'm switching the stories, but still on the story. Because remember, we were in the Temascal. I don't have my rattles. I had to be lent some stuff to sing these songs. And that kind of ties back into the story. It's gonna be what it needs to be. Even if you don't have all the things you think you need, there will be help. There will be others that can support, that can lend you things. And the thing you want to do is still going to be what it needs to be. So that was that. And I'm going to take a quick ad break. I'm going to say thank you to 181 Foundation again for having us here and all the great things that they're doing. Super inspired by them. And when we come back from the ad break, I'm going to share with you about the tree meditation and about me sitting with medicine. So we'll see you right back.
The Community Center is part of the complex known as the Center of Light of the 181 Foundation and represents the first phase of the complex. This center will offer the following services, both to the surrounding community and the international community online: health, psychological care and attention, working achievements, personal development, arbitration and conciliation in social problems, education, scholarships and grants, legal and administrative processes, business development, jobs, and cultural exchanges. The Community Center, Center of Light, 181 International Foundation, From the Cosmos to the Earth, a 501c3 non-for-profit organization.
Welcome back. Okay, so the true meditation, right? So I even contemplated not doing the tree meditation because I felt unworthy because I didn't have all my stuff, right? And so I had to really sit there and think back to, I guess it's been even 2 years now since I started to serve, to offer, to channel the trees and share the tree meditations. And back then, I had nothing. I didn't have my rattles, I didn't have oils, I didn't have the whistles, I didn't have my sound bowls. It was just my voice. I didn't even used to wear like ceremonial clothes when I would do these. It was just my voice and the trees and the people. And so it was a very humbling moment to come back into that and realize I don't need my special tools, even though they help so much and they really enhance the experience for everyone, but they're a plus. And all I need is to channel the tree. And all the people need to do is touch the tree. And so it's really that simple. So the lesson from that I take is one, humility, right? And that's been a very big lesson coming up over and over. It's to be humble and grateful. And so in that moment, I was humbled by my spirit team, by the universe, to come back into literally the roots of what I do, right? And just show up was the message. Just show up. You don't need all these other things. Just show up. You are how you are is more than enough. And so that's a lesson that I hope that can resonate with you as well, is you truly are more than enough just as you are. Show up, and that's all you need to do, because the rest will take care of itself. Okay? Okay. So other than that, but okay, so that was my perspective. But the tree meditation was actually super beautiful, and people had very beautiful experiences. So much so that, so the tree meditations like here and over here are like the healers, and people had signed up on the list to receive, holistic healing. But they did the tree meditation first, and there was at least one person that actually said this, but the people that came with them also had these similar experiences expressed. But there was this one guy that said, from the tree meditation, he went over to the healers to tell them, hey, could you cross my name out? I don't need holistic healing anymore. The tree healed me. The tree did the work. The tree, like, I feel so cured from that tree meditation ceremony. And that really filled my heart. And it still does, because could you imagine that? Someone came here to receive holistic healing from these experts, very beautiful, powerful medicine people. But then they show up to a tree meditation and they learn how to reconnect with these pillars of light, these batteries, and how to transform energy with them so much that it helped them, it healed them to go and not need to see a healer anymore. Right? That is my wish for everyone. That is my wish for you watching this. That is my wish for humanity, to remember to have access and knowledge on, I guess, energy work, right? And how to heal ourselves. So that was something very beautiful that happened. Another amazing thing that happened in the tree meditation was that we had one of my great friends, Lupe. He's an ancestral shaman. He plays a lot of beautiful instruments, and he's a part of many ceremonies. And he was with us, and he was helping us play, because again, I didn't have my instruments. So here comes Lupe with his instruments, and he was playing like a flute and like a couple different flutes. And yeah, it definitely enhanced and made it super cool. I love when I get to co-create in that space. And yeah, it was very beautiful. We had I think over 20 people show up to the tree meditation. I forget the actual number. I want to say like 22. But it was very beautiful. And honestly, well, another point to it is, I don't know, I had been back to the first lessons, right? Hyper focused on other aspects of my life and businesses that I hadn't given myself the time to really show up for the trees and share tree meditations as constantly as I used to. And doing that really ignited all of that for me again and showed me like, this is what I love to do. I feel so alive. I feel so good. And so yeah, I'm gonna start to organize those again. And that'd be really cool. So I hope that you can show up to those either in person or on a live. I'm gonna start really organizing again the tree meditation tour, which is my project to share this, to share everything I'm talking about globally at sacred trees, sacred sites, and co-create with all of you. So if you'd like to, co-collab is not a word, collaborate on any of the things that I mentioned, please reach out, and I would love to. But other than that, the last story I have for you before we go today is that on the last day, I was able to sit with the medicine. I sat with Bufo Alvarius, which was my first time, and it was very beautiful. It showed me myself, but of light. It showed me myself doing the things I already do. I saw a scene of me in the tree meditation walking around. I saw a scene of me singing songs like full on full on voice level. Inside the Tamascal, I saw me dancing so freely around the earth circle, and it really helped confirm for me just, this is what I'm meant to be doing. And it was beautiful. But from there, that was in the morning, like sunrise, essentially. And from there, it was time for the earth dance of the day. So when I was getting my copalera, in the thing that burns, um, I don't know if I did that when I went like that. That was so cool. What? Okay, anyway. Um, when I was getting that, I went over to the kitchen and I asked for like a coal to put in there so I can put my herbs. It makes it smell, right? And as I was receiving that, there was like a stick on the counter that looked normal. Little did I know that the tip of the stick was actually piping hot. So hot that when I grabbed it and I squeezed it, it burned my finger. Right now it's healing. Can't really tell anymore. But I got a really bad burn. Really bad burn. And there was, again, more brothers of the path that have many more years of experience than I do. And so he told me, and this might resonate for any of you if something like this ever happens, if you come into contact with fire, that the fire is a message of a lot of kind of like anger and deep things that someone is working through. But it's also a very powerful medicine that I did need in the moment that was very grounding. And it's like there's no other, I guess, thing that makes you, probably there is, but when you're so in your head, when you're so like in your thoughts, what you need is physical contact. What you need is to come back into the body. And pain does a really good job, unfortunately, of bringing us back into the moments, right? So when I received this burn on my finger, and it's my left hand, so my receiving hand, what was shared with me was, you know, be here in the now. Like, yes, you just sat with medicine. Yes, you feel so quantum, but the present, right, is the present. So, yeah, it really helped me ground into the moment. And yeah, because again, I was very dimensional in that moment. So that was a strong medicine. And yeah, anyway, I hope you can take away some of the stuff that I'm sharing with you today and it be helpful to you, or yeah, entertaining at least. But yeah, I burned myself. I got blisters. I burned my face. Oh my god. Okay, last short story because this one's kind of funny. Somehow I thought that coconut oil would be really good to go in the sun with for all day. Little did I know, it actually really burnt my skin, and so much so that I was peeling, and this whole thing was like 5 shades darker than what it is right now, and it started to peel. And in a few days, I had to travel. So I put a lot of aloe vera, and was able to heal it. But that's to say, do not use coconut oil on your body for an extensive period of time in the sun, because it's probably not the best idea, you know? Yeah. But with that being said, thank you for listening to my stories of what I've been up to, the lessons I've been integrating. And from here, I would like to invite you to our next event happening here at the sanctuary. And that is going to be Vibra Fest Baja. Vibra Fest is going to be a mixture of this earth dance that I just mentioned with aspects of a festival. So if you can imagine, throughout the days, it's going to be in August 9th through 12th. And we're going to have the earth dance, we're going to have the temazcales, we're going to have the healers, but there's also going to be talks, workshops, live music, especially at night. There's going to be like medicine music, DJ. It's going to be super fun. You know, the treementation, of course, nature walks, and also we're going to implement medicine circles. So we're going to work with the different local shamans here and offer you guys medicine circles. So if you're interested in that, please send me a message, or contact me, or follow Vibra Fest Baja on Instagram, where we're going to be posting the links. Pretty soon, we're going to have the ticket options ready for you guys to book your stay, with glamping even included in there for you guys that really appreciate that. It's called Cosmic Royalty, which includes meals and all of that good stuff, amazing stuff coming to you guys this summer. So really excited, and putting all my energy forth into Vibra Fest, and again, planning more of these events for you guys and for myself, for my own sake, because it really does help. But yeah, I think that'd be it for me today. I hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful day. I love you. I'll see you soon. Ciao, tree huggers.